Thanks for staying with us. So moving on to our Feel Good Thursday topics. So on social media, Nigerians who have rich parents were narrating how they were being left out. They have been left out of their parents' wealth. According to some of them, their parents are philanthropists, givers to all and sundry, and don't reciprocate that with them. They also revealed that while some of their friends felt they were lying about not enjoying their parents' wealth, others came through for them. So it's a story many of us are familiar with, where our parents are, or our dads are like the best guys. You know, Fela is the most loved guy out there. Everybody internationally acclaimed. Everybody, I'm just using Fela as an example, you know. But inside the house, you're thinking, give us this money now. This money, they are going to London, they are going to America. Let us to travel now. Let us give us this. And he's like, no. But there, the world knows him as the giver, the person that does this. So that's the conversation, why the rich parents, quote unquote, sometimes are so good outside, but they're not that great inside. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-397-6948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'd like to hear your thoughts.
Since you use Fela as an example, I will tell you this for a fact. Fela did not give us money. That's number one. In fact, there was no, he didn't buy you a car or nothing, apart from the fact that towards the end of his own life, he didn't have money. But when he had me, I remember asking him, I think it was about 15 or 14, Fela, do you would like, Dotun, they're all going to London, want to go to London. And Fela said, London?
I remember he said that.
London? What was going to do in London? The way he go, I never asked him again about London. Never. Yeah. So when they bought his house, he was not saying, I want to send my children to London. And I was looking at him, you can't remember what you said about London. So he did not.
So are you telling me that you didn't go to London like when you were younger? Until you grew up?
No.
That's hard to believe.
My mother is the one that paid my first ticket to London when I was 21.
Wow.
Yep.
Are you for real?
My goodness.
I would think that wife been going to London is like a 4 years old or something.
Your mom is a citizen, like I don't understand.
That was my
your grandmother.
My birthday present. I was 21.
Oh.
From my mom was to go to.
Are you for real?
To London. I'd never been. Though I would say that Fela had taken us to Germany when I was about 18 for the one of his tours. He took us on 2 tours.
Yeah.
So that was. Yeah. I mean, I was now a big girl. Yeah, right, but going abroad, there was nothing like that. There was no.
So it was elite luxury to travel on holidays, and
yes,
because my daughter likes to say, my friends just came back. So you know they like to go. So a parent who considers it luxury, you know,
it's his prerogative.
That's not my priority right now. You know, there are more things that this money can do. Because this kind of story now, maybe my children will now grow up and say, Mom, you don't like doing birthday parties. All our friends, we used to attend. I still, this conversation this week was in my house. And I said, I don't do my birthdays. I fast on my birthdays. I don't have, my first birthday party was 21, and I did not throw it. My
so
friends
why are
threw
you
it.
Living that through your children?
So that's what I believe. That's what I do. So maybe my child will grow up now, she's working, and feel deprived of birthday parties and say, no, that's my own priority. I feel that for my birthdays, I could change somebody's life. It could be my child. And it could be somebody else who actually needs the money. And that's my own is to do sadaka. When you grow up, when you're an adult, decide. But don't judge me for it. Because I feel that Fela probably thought that luxury because you want to go because your cousins are going. Doesn't make sense to me.
I had that problem.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, Fela did not throw money at us in any way. We were not pampered in any way. But the upside of that is that we learned to work for our money. We learned at a very young age. I was working. I was paying rent at a very young age.
Right.
Very important.
I had that issue growing up because in primary school, I went to Corona Primary School, and almost all my colleagues and friends, everybody traveled. And there was this young guy, I'm sure I'll mention his name, Ola, I can't remember his surname. Ola will come back with these yellow and red boxes, like the big one, the medium size, the small one, you know, and they'll just open it up nicely. People come with nice pencil cases, their nice school bags, and I'm there. We went to Togo. we went to
You went at all.
we went to Cotonou, we went to Gabon, you know, and I used to be so angry because I'm like, let's want to go to London, want to go to America. Daddy will not allow you to go to America. But all your friends went, and they come with all these stories, nice pencil cases, you got nice erasers, and if you look like they'll give you the normal Nigerian one. And all you have is, I went to Cotonou.
They gave you now.
So, no, the point is that, but why do parents do that? I mean, today I appreciate it. Because when I asked him then, I think because maybe he felt that he made an error with my brothers, so that my brothers went too early. They left too early. So for me and my, maybe he wanted to change that. He didn't want us to have that same experience where we just go so early and don't come back. He wants us to just grow when you're a bit more mature. And that's probably the problem. That's why I came to Nigeria. That's why I came back to Nigeria. That's American citizenship. Because I had that mentality, unfortunately for me. Because if I'd had the mentality of a hustler, I would have come back with the citizenship.
Okay, so let me put it this way. I think that we need to quell the spirit of entitlement. And I think this comment is coming from someone with the spirit of entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, my parents have money, so I should have money. No, it's not your money. It's your parents' money.
Exactly.
They can choose to give you opportunities with that money, but you are not entitled to it. They worked for their money, it's for them.
Right.
When you are dependent, and my mentality with my children is that I would care for my children when they are dependent on me. They would not lack food or shelter. That is the essential from me. When they show responsibility, I will give them more opportunities with funds.
Right.
So I'm working hard to have money so that if I see my child really, really has, like, opportunity that I can give that child, I can afford to give the child. But not that the child will feel like, my mommy has money, so I can just take the key and drive the car. And I'll just, you're not entitled to it. Right. You must show responsibility to earn what you are enjoying. Now, for my own parents, they didn't have a whole lot. And I was made to understand that I was never hungry. You know, I would never ever feel like there was any point in time when I have an essential need that I would not get. Yeah. But I was also brought up to have responsibility and know that if I want any extra luxury, you can hustle it, work for it. You want to fix a kind of hair, work for it. I see the opposite nowadays. My husband sells IT products, phones, that and all that, and I hear people say, oh, I promised my daughter that if she gets first class, she's going to get iPhone 13 Pro Max. That happened just like this Christmas. Several. My daughter has been complaining that everybody in their school have waist length, Brazilian bone streets. So, and I'm like wondering, why are you putting yourself, like, we need to teach our children to be resilient and understand responsibility. Like, you earn things, you work for it, and when you earn, you don't spend frivolously because you know how hard it took you to get it. Fantastic. So those are the balance we need to talk more about, because we have more children now. Somebody tried to commit suicide around me, and when they go to the hospital, the doctors were like, oh, which one did he take? Oh, okay, this is what they use.
As in, like, they see it every time.
They see it every time. A lot of children in their early 20s, teenagers are committing suicide every day, attempting and committing. Every day in this country. What is going wrong? We have become so superficial and materialistic that we no longer appreciate the life and the small things that we have.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about rich kids and their sense of entitlement. And I would say not just rich kids, privileged. Anybody can be privileged. You don't have to be told rich. Just that you feel that your parents should do more for you just because they have the means.
Sorry, Minima, because I've seen little young girls who are maybe 15, 16, they're carrying designer bags. Name the designer bag, they have it. You give them iPhones, you give them iPads, and they do so many things. Like, I saw this little girl. She's about 14. She was with her iPad. She was doing TikTok over Christmas. I sat down and I was just looking at her like this. Because you do not know, as a parent, what she's going to get exposed to on that app, whatever app that you're... Do you know what I gave my brother's children from my brother and I this year as Christmas present? And they were so annoyed. Pure water phone.
Pure water.
That's
Pure water.
the phone that doesn't have access to internet.
That doesn't have access to internet.
pure water
you can only
phone.
make call. Call.
Yes.
Phone. And you know, they were so annoyed. What do you want us to do with this phone?
To call.
If you don't need to, we can't do WhatsApp. Don't do WhatsApp. That's what puts two people in trouble.
My
Yes.
9-year-old has been on my neck for a phone.
Yeah. We are
Every
going
day.
to have to
Yes,
get
sir.
Yeah.
Elizabeth came to
I'll
ask
say, when
me.
you are 18,
That's the
She
one.
wants-
18. What about 13? 18 is too far. When will get a phone?
My daughter asked me for a phone just a few days ago. Her birthday is around the corner. She says, Mommy, I want. I said, no, you're not getting a
I
phone.
asked, I said, I grew
Get
up
that
in a
phone.
family where
Get
you
that phone.
touch
You
my
get a
hair.
phone for just
No,
for
no,
making
no,
phone
I'm not
calls.
getting
No, I'm not
Get
going to
one
get.
phone.
She's not going to
I
get
said,
any phone.
you-
I'll call
you
an
said-
adult to
It's
get it.
8K.
I said, I am not getting you a phone. And I said, why? I said, point blank, I'm not giving you. I don't have to give you a reason. I'm not getting you a phone.
I told my
period.
daughter, I said, don't worry, when you start working, because I started business at 17, start working. I bought my first phone, at least part pay.
You know, I remember that.
So when you start working, save up the money.
Yeah.
If you buy a phone, I won't say anything.
You know, interestingly, I think I've shared the story several times. On my 18th birthday, I mean, I was so happy. My brother did the party. Everybody was so happy. We had a lovely party. Yeah, and adults. After the party and everybody went home, he now called me. You're 18. Okay, so this is the phone bill. He now started highlighting all the international calls. You every day calling mommy, every day, these are international calls. You're going to start paying for it. So he now added all the international calls because we call mommy once a month. You every day are calling mommy, no problem. He added it. Clinical dollars. So that's going to be responsibility going forward. So as you're working, that's your pay. You're paying it. Electricity bill, I'm going to give you a portion. No, I had my responsibilities.
Simple.
Immediately after party. So as an 18-year-old, I knew that, okay, now I have to start doing things. And we don't do that here. An 18-year-old child in Nigeria still feels entitled that, give me.
25-year-old child still feels that they should get allowance. You see, some of these people, these rich children that are complaining, are also, some of them are still getting allowance from their parents, but they feel like he's not doing enough. Someone was complaining that the last flights that he paid for me, full-grown adult, was not first class. It was a premium economy. I say, you were complaining of premium economy because you have been flying first class on your parents' bill. We need to dial it down. And I know that sometimes they'll feel like it's poverty. And for some people, it's numb. There's nothing, it's like...
Why did the parents expose you to first class? Is it wrong? That's the question. Is it wrong?
If you can afford
Why,
it...
kid, when did you start going first class? Because I have seen some rich parents today. Let's on social media, they are giving their children PS5. I mean, is it PS5? So my point is that
not everything you
I've
can
seen a
afford
child.
that a child needs.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about children
Let's talk about it
needs.
now. You put a 5-year-old child in first class. Is it wrong? That's the question.
I don't think it's wrong if you can afford it.
Okay.
If
you're sitting there.
I can afford it and I'm sitting in business class or first class, and I can pay for my children to be there as children, I will pay for them.
So now
when they become adults, I will no longer pay for them.
Why would you therefore? Because something I'm used to doing this as a child.
Yes.
And I grew up and now you can't do for me.
So the truth is that you must have that conversation.
Yes.
So the conversation, like my kids were on my case, they are doing Roblox and they are trying to. He has created a game, so he wants to create a group. It will cost like $6 or something. That I should $6. I should pay for it. And I told him, I said, you cannot pay for this. It is not an essential responsibility for you now. You're not playing games or creating a game. Is not what is core for me. My responsibility is to feed you, pay your school fees. That's the one I will continue to do. So we had that conversation. You will enjoy this. But now you are reaching your 15-year birthday. Well, free tickets abroad is ending very, very soon. You let the child know. Because when a child is growing, it will not be easy for them. When you take a child from breast milk, the child is crying
for it.
because the child wants breast milk. But you know, for the child to become an adult, the child needs to move away and start eating normal food. So it's not convenient.
So you don't
must win that
fantastic.
child.
So you can give the child the luxury, but communicate. Let the child know this is not a privilege.
Yes.
Papa just used the word that I wanted to jump on earlier when you asked that question. There's a winning period for everything, every growth stage of a child. And as a parent, what you can afford is not necessarily what the child needs. You must be an up and doing parent to know what your child needs per time. Even if the whole world is giving that child that thing, you must be able to take it from that child and say, this thing, if I continue to give it to you, it's at your detriment. It's the same as giving your child sugar. Every time the child wants a sweet, you just give them sweets. I told my daughter, I said, I grew up in a family where I had to present my WAEC result. Full papers achieved for me to retouch my hair, for me to relax my hair. It was natural all my life till I showed that result. So for me growing up, you earn things.
Yes.
My parents will use love to kill you on your birthday. Pray here in the morning, I love you. That's your birthday gift. That's your birthday gift. Now that I can afford luxury, I'm yearning for that. Somebody to wake me up in the morning with a hug and prayers.
Pray.
So I said, well, don't worry. When the time comes, your priorities will change.
Are you saying that Mr. Adisibi doesn't make you to love and pray?
Really can be on his way to work before he remembers my birthday.
So, see, I have a question, therefore. So somebody like the MD of FCMB, for example, his father was rich, or his father is still alive, rich. That's Shubomi Balogun.
Yes.
Shubomi Balogun raised children in wealth.
Yes.
Today, the children are successful.
Yes.
And they're doing well.
You don't
So the point I'm trying to make is that you can still raise a child in luxury and still raise a responsible child.
Exactly.
You see Shubomi Balogun in luxury and assume that in his house, the children are just balling, open.
No, one of the children is the MD of the FCMB back
No,
then.
he changed
You
his
can
children.
create-
No, he trained his children on administrative managerial skills to run businesses. Doesn't mean that they woke up. You know these people that are writing this one. This one wants to wake up and vex and say, okay, I give my friend $2,000. I throw party as I like. I go to concerts and buy all the tickets. That's what they are saying. Shubomi Balogun is a success story. Probably train his children to be success stories, even though they're in that luxury. And you must have denied them certain things to make them focus on the right priorities.
You said so they live a little.
And
His kids are growing up well.
Yeah, and they can fly daddy's private jets right now. You know, they can pick up. They can say, oh, daddy is going to the UK. We are going with daddy in daddy's private jet. But each child must be made to understand that we are enjoying the labors of our father. And if you have access. We have the grace of God, and we have access to the grace of God and to enjoy the luxuries of God because we maintain a relationship with God. So if that relationship gets tampered with, we don't enjoy the access and the joy and the blessings that come with that relationship. Same with parenting. If you are doing everything I want you to do, you are pleasing me in every way, and you say, oh, I want to come, Auntie Annie, God forbid, any reason now, your daughter wants to come and she says, oh, I really want to come and see you, but mommy, we just finished paying a lot of bills, we can't make it down. And Auntie Annie is rich enough. Auntie Annie would send business class tickets to her daughter. Why? They have a relationship. So most of the time when the children are complaining that they are not getting luxury from their wealthy parents, they have neglected the relationship of being responsible children. But you want to enjoy blessing from a parent you are not responsible to. You don't call your parents unless you need money.
Let me take this call from Luxembourg. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. I want to air my view on the topic going on my view.
Yes, go ahead, you're live.
Sense of entitlement.
Yes, you're live.
Yeah. I think what Lima is saying, she's saying, yeah, I think what Lima is saying makes in the sense that don't over pamper your kids. Because when I was growing up, I never had my birthday once, and secondly, even at Christmas, you could never put anything.
This audio is really, really bad.
Our phone lines are really bad.
We got you, Jeff. Don't over pamper your children.
Again. I mean, recently I've been seeing a lot of rich people on social media giving their children PS5, and the children are just in luxury. They can't say anything else. All they are seeing is this 5-year-old little boy.
You see, the thing is...
And they're so excited. It doesn't make it bad. I'm just saying that as you're doing that, make sure that you're letting that child know he's not entitled to it. You're just giving
It's not just even the entitlement. If you give a child that is doing badly in school a PS5, what is his gain in life? You have to make sure that if you want a PS5 from me, you are going to do well in school.
Yes.
You know, if
it's a reward.
my daughter 2 years ago bought, I don't know what my game console for my brother's kids, and that year, that term, they all did badly. My brother just collected for 2 years, he just gave them back. That game counts because they were doing so bad. I said, so is it game that is not rating your head correct? Oh yeah.
That's parenting.
And he's like watching them. Just do badly again, I will take it away again.
Then you must know your children.
You know, so they were not allowed to play game in the house for anything.
That's parenting. You must know your children. When we were on your house, on our way to your house on the 31st, my car just stopped. It didn't start. It didn't get into action. And I kept battering with the car. I had to call someone who said it was the battery, and then we jump-started it, it worked. But in the meantime, we spent about an hour to 30 minutes trying to fix the car. And my daughter just said, oh, Mommy, I'm tired of all of this. Just get us a car. Call your friends now, borrow a car. I was like, eh? Omoti Mobi, my own child. I said, Auntie, look me very well. We will trek to where we are going, or we are not going again. In fact, I'm getting upset we are not going again. If you cannot use what you have, why inconvenience somebody? Asking that person probably puts them in a position where they're forced to say yes to you when it's not convenient. Did you think about that?
I like what
you just jumped.
Please,
and
can I just, because that is the problem of Nigeria today. We have developed, we are a begging nation. We beg
with
for
huge
everything.
appetite for what is not essential.
I want to throw a party for my daughter's wedding. Please come and give me money. Why should I give you money if you want to throw a party for your daughter's wedding? Throw a party for your daughter's wedding if you want to throw a party for your daughter's wedding. Don't ask me to fund your daughter's wedding. You know, so everybody, and I am guilty. We are all guilty. We all have that entitlement.
In little ways.
In little ways. I want to do party. Please come and give me money. I want to go to Dubai. Please come and fund my ticket. Nigerians, we're all doing it. Forget about parents. It's our, they will say I'm accusing government again.
And we need to teach ourselves. And that's why we're having this conversation
We are copying
now.
government.
Teach ourselves to take more responsibility and live within our means and not be so materialistic. The measure of success is not in the quantum that you can flaunt. You know, because it's not really about what we need to do. It's the flaunting for others to see. I told Mariah, I said, there's a video I did, you know, and I just caught myself. I was about to post it, and I'm like, this is not you. But because we're so in social media space, we're forced to always do. And we must remind ourselves to be self-aware. So we pull ourselves back and connect with the reality on ground.
There's a point I want to make, but let me talk to Moya. Dr. Moya, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this rich kids and their sense of entitlement. I'm happy my parents took that sense of entitlement away from me. Because she brought guilt. I came from a privileged home. But when I came back, because I went to, as a doctor, I went to some private universities that were for privileged children. And when I came home, they thought I was entitled. I didn't want to do any house chores. I was feeling too big. I was, when everybody's in house chores, I only want to watch television and do other things. My parents stopped paying for TV, DXTV rather. They stopped paying for the telephone. They said if I want to enjoy the privileges in the house, I was also earning. Nobody gets anything for nothing in this house. And I'm happy to let me valuing people's work, whether you're a driver, you're a cleaner, or whatever you do. It gave me a sense of honoring and valuing what they were doing.
Right.
Then I stopped feeling like that. This hell has not yet come back from Spain. I'm not yet come to people. I was not getting angry about things like that. I say appreciating when I say for Saga, when I say boss, I say appreciating their work.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moyo. You know what she said reminded me of something. I grew up. I never washed my clothes as a child. I didn't need to wash my clothes. I couldn't wash my clothes. I never cooked, and I told you guys the first day I ever turned on the gas cooker was when I went to the US for the first time. I couldn't cook anything. And I remember people used to laugh at me, I want to buy her, she's spoiled, she's last born, she can't cook, she can't wash clothes, she can't do anything. Her husband would chase her out of the house, she cannot do anything. You know, they laughed at me so badly because, it's a privileged child. But today, by God's grace, there's washing machine. There's washing machine. I don't need to wash my clothes. There's somebody, the cooking thing, you can learn the cooking. So my point is that, are we making it
poverty mentality?
Are we using poverty? God bless you. Are we using poverty mentality to raise our children in the name of I don't want them to be spoiled?
Yeah.
No, for me, this is how I see it. Because some parents have their excesses. I've seen parents put a 1-year-old child down. That you finally have a son. Put video on it and be putting words of notes on them in the name of spraying. I don't know what you want to achieve with that. For me, teaching your children choices, making, early in life is very important. Whatever they call it, some people might call it poverty, but we grew up like that. See, Muriel, there's nothing in the world that I see on people that I turn my blind eye from, that I miss. Once I say this thing, I don't care about it. I don't miss it. I didn't go clubbing as a child. I don't miss that life. As in, I don't want to, as a younger, I don't miss anything that I turn away from. That resilience, I'm struggling to build it. I think that is one of my strongest survival skills. I'm struggling to build it in my children. If that thing is not life-threatening, you don't need it. Mommy, borrow a car, let's go. We see, the only person that will offend is YK, but you will go upstairs, you will sleep, and we'll be fine.
Let me take this call from Kenneth. Kenneth, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, Kenneth.
Okay,
Our audio is bad. Welcome to the show. Our audio is bad today, but please go ahead.
I am very happy to be amongst this morning, and I want to really appreciate all of you that have been answering this program.
Thank you.
I'm calling on the way from Gombe State. The topic today has been very unique, and I want to really applaud all of you that have always been on stage.
Thank you, Kenneth.
And I also want to let you know that I have been monitoring the activities. All the topic has been unique. Now, going straight to the point. Who is a kid and who is a student? And who is a teacher? And who is a parent? There are a lot of things lacking in this country. The system is not trying to put things in order. The time is right for us to start putting things in order. Just like that child that was...
Oh, from Gombe. Did you hear?
The time is the system doesn't put things in order. It's time for us to start putting things in order. I think he was actually talking about Sylvester. You know, and but I just wanted to say it's important that we teach our children values. That's the most important thing. I think is value and appreciating. Appreciate what you have, and know that maybe the next child is not getting it, and you need to be kind. Because there is no point in if you have a child that is not kind. And I want to keep showing off to my friends that I have this and you have what? Who are you? What do you have?
What you have,
what you have is what your parents have.
Final words, yes.
I wanted to really just say that I know that by maybe I call it the Amejebu, but when I self-analyzed, I knew it was poverty mentality. I got married with the fact that you cannot eat a meat too big. You cannot eat multiple meats in your food. It was poverty mentality. I would cut meat into tiny pieces for my children, not because we could not afford it, but I just was so used to it. So you can't waste food. You must scrape every food from the plate, because that was my lifestyle and that was how I was brought up. But I had to just relax and say, the fact that my children don't finish all the grain of rice in their plate does not mean they're not grateful. So we must be able to self-diagnose poverty mentality. It is real. So I can say boldly now that if I can afford it, my children will fly first class as children, and it will not stop them from having values. It won't stop them from being disciplined. It won't stop them from being decent, because I will balance it.
Let me let you find out what
I wanted to use that. Paul Williams is asking, is poverty a sin? Is it a disease? It's a situation that can change. Poverty mentality also is what some people will see. They'll be behaving like Ojo or Larry. You will see one, you want to die there. It's poverty mentality that makes some people greedy. It is not that you know your situation and you're willing to do everything legit to change it. It's not poverty mentality. It's to cut your coat part-time according to your size.
Fantastic. I think we can learn on that. Thank you very much.
I think that poverty mentality is different from poverty.
Yes.
So we need to separate the two. Poverty mentality is what a lot of our leaders are suffering from.
Madam leaders. Okay, that's what we can take on.
No.
We have to run.
That is why they chop money in government.
That
is why they chop money
we have to run.
and they don't chop it.
We run out of time, honey. We got to go. That's all we can take on the show. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.